Bjorn, I'm very happy to see you here. I see that all of the other speakers are being promoted as we speak. So finally, I can now turn down the camera and give you the floor.
Thank you very much, Thibault. Thank you all for being here, and welcome to the agency carousel. So I'm going to share my screen. So the concept of this agency carousel is rather simple. So like a real carousel, it turns around very quickly, and with 4 agencies from around the world hopping on and off the carousel, they will be quickly presenting their use cases of computational antitrust. So thank you for the speakers for having made themselves available today. And I think without further ado, we can actually hop on this regulatory merry-go-round, and we'll start with Kevin. Kevin, who is a section chief at the Taiwan Fair Trade Commission. Kevin, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. I'm Kevin from the Taiwan Fair Trade Commission. I'm honored to participate in this conference and very pleased to be the first speaker of this section. Next slide, please. My presentation will be divided into 3 parts. First, how the TFTC applies algorithm-based systems to monitor markets. The second part is our competition enforcement activities. And the last part is the TFTC following measures. Next slide, please. In 2022, the TFTC collaborated with external experts and economists to develop algorithm-based systems that were designed to monitor major daily necessities such as soybean, wheat, corn, and eggs. First, with the Q-learning algorithm, the 2022 price and output data in relevant markets were processed and used to test and adjust model parameters. After repeating a large number of runs and learning with the simulator, we built a simulation model of vertical and horizontal concerted actions. The analytical results show that there was lack of evidence indicating the presence of collusion among suppliers of daily necessities. And second, under the law of one price, the TFTC employed models of VAR and VECM, the Johansson co-integration test, and the Granger causality test to analyze market margins of daily necessity. Here are the analytical results. For number 1, downstream prices of daily necessities did not efficiently reflect their respective upstream prices. One possible explanation was that the domestic supply of daily necessities was subject to import regulations on bulk grain. Second, prices of most daily necessities remained relatively stable, but prices for some commodities, for example, milk and eggs often rose faster than they fell. Next slide, please. And here are our experiences. Number 1, following the hypothetical monopoly test, the TFTC reviewed the data collected from consumer survey to define a relevant market. The result indicated that the hypermarkets across the nation could be defined as a relevant product market. And number 2, on the basis of the 2022 price and output data in the relevant market, the TFTC made use of the logistic regression model to analyze anti-competition effects arising from a proposed merger. The model suggested that the merger was likely to have anti-competitive effects as a result of the level of the increase in post-merger prices. Number 3, the TFTC completed domestic retail store mapping with a geographic information system, GIS. The mapping result demonstrated that physical retail outlets were highly concentrated in metropolitan areas. Next slide, please. And here are our cases. Number one, hypermarket mergers. The TFTC made attempt with different methods to sort, warehouse, and clean a large number of data sets, such as tax registrations for businesses and questionnaire survey results. These methods include web crawling, text mining, and machine learning in R programming and Python. Regression models and critical loss analysis were implemented to define relevant markets. The analytical process starts with the hypermarket sector, that is the initial candidate market. The TFTC then calculated market share and market concentration, as well as assessed unilateral effect and other anti-competitive effects. Number two, cinema mergers. A new concept used by the TFTC to define local markets in cinema mergers is isochrone-based catchment areas. First, the length of time or the distance customers would be willing to travel to reach the location of merging parties and other cinemas was determined. On account of the diversity of domestic transport modes for personal travel, walking, bicycle, car, bus, metro, and rail, the journey time or the distance was decided by the most commonly used transport modes. Isochrones were then constructed with GIS software to measure overlapping catchment areas of individual cinemas, assess the level of competition among cinemas, and define geographic markets. Case number three, price fixing among ice-making businesses on one offshore island. Tools for extraction of digital evidence and digital forensics were used to acquire instant messaging chat from mobile devices owned by relevant businesses. TFTC cross-checked these communication histories and the dates of price increases and obtained direct evidence supporting price fixing. Number four, price fixing in carbonated drinks. Data warehousing and cleaning with R programming was applied to a large number of data sets around carbonated drinks. The impact of monthly changes was taken into consideration based on the interrupted time series approach to build a regression model for different types of carbonated drinks. The TFTC gauged the elasticity of demand by evaluating the differences in outcomes before and after price adjustments. The TFTC further compared the elasticity of demand and the extent of increase in prices to review whether price adjustments were considered economically rational. Next slide, please. In the future, the TFTC will take measures to enhance the effectiveness of antitrust enforcement activity and continue technology capacity building in its law enforcement. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. And I know it's very late where you are right now, so thanks a lot for staying up and having made yourself available.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that was our first agency, and now we're hopping onto the carousel again with Felipe, who is the acting head of Market Studies Division at the Chile National Economic Prosecutor. Hi, Felipe.
Hi, Bjorn. Okay, so hello, everyone. It is a great honor to join you today at the third annual conference on computational antitrust. I would like to extend my gratitude to the computational antitrust team for orchestrating this innovative and timely event. So today my discussion will center on how the Fiscalía Nacional Económica, the FNE, is assimilating AI-based technologies developed in-house into its operations, as evidenced through the initiatives of our intelligence unit. Next slide. So let's quickly glance at what I'll be covering today in these few minutes. I'll start with an introduction to the FNE intelligence unit. followed by insights into two AI systems they have developed, Jarvis for market monitoring and Augurio for forensic analysis. Lastly, we'll discuss why the intelligence unit thought developing these systems in-house was the best path forward. So this unit was launched in September 2020 and comprises a data scientist / economist, a software developer, and a lawyer, the head of the unit. This multidisciplinary team focuses on cartel detection and developing investigative methods and tools for analyzing vast amounts of data, both structured and unstructured. These methods and tools can be used by either the anti-cartel division or other divisions within the FNA. Its creation is a pivotal step in the agency's ongoing efforts to actively combat cartels and align its investigative techniques with global standards. So let's delve into Jarvis. This is a system that scrapes content from various online news outlets to create tailored news feeds. It employs custom-trained natural language processing models for pinpointing relevant news. It has a graphic user interface that allows our legal professionals to efficiently build training sets that then can be used to train text classifiers for their own needs. Although our agency currently employs a newsfeed provider that categorizes content via keywords, Jarvis is conceived to take a step further by discerning the deeper meaning within the text with a context-aware filtration. So this system was launched this year and has been used thus far to monitor in-news procedural gun jumping. To date, no formal actions have commenced. However, the FNA is now actively monitoring such behavior, a process that was impractical before due to constrained resources. So in this video, we are displaying the graphical user interface that our lawyers utilize for constructing their training sets. The interface facilitates the creation of bespoke text classifier by allowing them to label news items as relevant or irrelevant. Additionally, they have the option to directly access the source should they need to investigate a specific issue further. So let's talk about Augurio. This is a tool used in the forensic analysis phase of cartel investigations for pinpointing digital image evidence. While our agency possesses commercial tools for retrieving and analyzing digital content from seized devices, these are not tailored to filter images pertinent to our investigations. Primarily, they focus on identifying content relevant to criminal cases, such as images depicting nudity or violence. In cartel investigations, however, we often seek images like handwritten notes, photos of spreadsheets, or graphs. Prior to Augurio, this necessitated manually reviewing tens of thousands of images, a process that was not only laborious, but also susceptible to errors. So equipped with a suite of image classifiers, each aligned with a distinct investigative goal, Augurio has streamlined our workflow, cutting down weeks of labor-intensive tasks. So this efficiency has allowed our investigators to focus on more complex aspects of their cases. And here in this video, we are presenting a sample of images used for testing purposes. You will notice that the relevant images are sorted into two distinct folders. One called pertinent visual content, while the other is dedicated to images containing text. So then the question is, why opt for in-house development of these systems? The driving factors are cost effectiveness and the ability to customize. Off-the-shelf commercial tools often come with a hefty price tag and may not be adequately suited for the nuanced demands of antitrust investigation. The intelligence unit's strategy leverages the wealth of freely available online resources to develop AI-based tools. This approach has enabled us to tailor solutions that greatly enhance our efficiency and monitoring prowess while adhering to our budget constraints. So it It does, however, require us to cultivate engineering expertise internally. So I hope in these few minutes I have been able to successfully communicate the efforts of the FNA, especially within the intelligence unit. And thank you for your attention, and eager to learn from the insights of the other panel session participants.
Thank you very much, Felipe. Apologies for the slight internet glitch, but it was very nice to catch those little videos, which give it a bit of a hands-on touch. So Susanna is the head of the Economic Intelligence Unit at the Spanish Competition Authority. Thank you very much, Susanna, for being here. I will share your slides right away.
Okay. So thank you very much, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you, and thanks for inviting us. Yes, could you go to the next slide, because I will go quite quick because of the time constraints. So as all of you, or quite a lot of you, may know, the Economic Intelligence Unit in Spain was created in 2018. The team is quite different to the usual ones for competition authorities. As it was said in the previous panel, we are lawyers, economists, but also at the same time we have mathematicians, the statistics people, and engineers and data scientists. So it's quite different, and I think that's one of the best things that we have. These are the goals that we try to achieve, and mainly the one that I'm going to stop today is the use of statistical business intelligence and artificial intelligence techniques, mainly to detect with rigging. Could we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, these are really simple statistical tools, or it was like the very beginning of the unit. It was a quick view to different data and analyze different patterns, and it was like the first moment that we used and we realized about the potential of the data. Next slide, please. These were used, this kind of models were used for different actual cases, and they are sanctioned, and I will not stop here. But the main goal, and next slide, please. The main goal was to detect with rigging, as I was saying. Just to having a small background on the Spain situation of public procurement, I think that it's a quite positive situation regarding other countries, because we have the public procurement platform with a central database. The regional platforms that we have 19 have to be connected. This could be quite a lot talk about this, because they do not share all the information, and it's more complex. But let's say that all in all, we have quite a very good information about public procurement. Since 2015, the CNMC decided to download this information of public procurement, rather the structured information, that is to say, for instance, the bid, the company awardee, the different ministries, all of this structured data, but also the unstructured data, as could be tender documents, award notices, PDFs, Excels, even pictures, images, all of that. We downloaded everything, we cleaned all the data, and I have written that the information about non-winning bids and non-winning bidders are not included publicly. That is to say that the general public, they do not have that information. But this year we reached an agreement with the Ministry of Finance, so we do have that. So for all of you, you can understand the importance of that. It's almost to say that it's almost gold for public procurement data. So all in all, we have about 3 million tenders information. So that's the very beginning. It was we think that it was a very, very good starting point. Next slide, please. So having that in mind, we developed quite a lot of different tools. I will not stop in all of them because of the time restraints. First, Guillemette, it's an instant search, a tool for instant searches on tenders. We use also natural language processing for that. We use Power BI, Microsoft Power BI for the visualization and analysis. We have coded more than 17 variables for like screening variables. And the point that I would like to stop today, or to try to explain a little bit more, is the machine learning process, machine learning program that we have developed with all of this other information, with the other pillars. And it's based on the CNMC data sets that we have created with the bid rigging cases that have been found by the CNMC. So please, could you go to the next slide, please? Next. Yes, so keeping that in mind, keeping that we have all the information of public procurement since 2015 already clean, already downloaded, and also that we have a good repository of sanctioned cases, we could develop this bid rigging detector based on machine learning. Next slide, please. I will go quite quick. The main goal of this machine learning detector is bid rigging detector is give for each tender the probability of being collusive. We trained the different algorithms. We tried different algorithms in Python with the 80% of the data, and we test with the rest of the 20%. We tried different methods. We tried with the data sets of the CNMC. And we selected the model, and we tried with raw variables and also with the screens and without the screens that I mentioned before. And all in all, I have to say that it's about the because you have different indicators, but we consider that it's upon 90% of success of the detection success. Please, could you go to the next slide? I think this is already the last one. So as I said, we used different variables, raw variables from the public procurement, but also for companies that we have another database that is also integrated on our database. We use also the screening variables that we already coded, the usual ones like statistical ones, but other that are created ad hoc by the CNMC. And next slide, please. And as I said, we coded everything. And the good thing is that we have already tried this tool with really recent cases, really bid rigging sanction, really recent cases that the tool had not seen them before. And the rate of success is quite good. We are quite positive, and we're quite happy about the results that we are obtaining. So for the moment, we think that it's a very great future for our tool. At least the data show that. And I think that's the last slide. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Susanna, and also thank you for the detailed view into this new machine learning algorithm. Mateusz, please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to give my brief presentation today. As a chief expert at Polish Office of Competition and Consumer Protection, I'll share with you a few insights on the development and use of computational tools in Poland. The first tool is being developed for bid rigging detection. It's based on statistical analysis and comparison of calculation results. Ultimately, its aim is to help us detect collusive behavior by analyzing large data sets. For example, for large infrastructure project, data provided by the General Directorate for National Roads and Motorways contained over 3,000 offers submitted. Polish Competition Authority also conducts research on the implementation of mechanism for preliminary assessment of the risk of bid rigging. Its goal would be to identify the areas prone to collusive tendering. Although we have a prototype tool which allows data analysis, The basic problem is the availability of high quality data on the public procurement markets. In order to develop appropriate databases, we initiated cooperation with the Public Procurement Office so we could obtain more data from online procurement system. What is also important, we are looking towards the development of a common bid rigging detection tool on the EU level. Such a tool developed by all members of European Competition Network shall within a few years make it possible to conduct structural and behavioral screening across the EU. As a result, all EU member states could more easily identify markets prone to collusions or detect unusual behavior that may be resulted from anti-competitive agreements. What's also worth mentioning, Polish Competition Authority is responsible for protection of consumer and their rights as well. This is why we have also developed a tool based on AI for the detection of abusive clauses. The system is based on machine learning and involves natural language processing and computer vision. It's used for text analysis of contract templates and searching for prohibited clauses. Although these steps are significant, they're just a small part of what future will require from competition law enforcers, including, of course, Polish Competition Authority. And taking today's opportunity, I'd like to share with you what other computational tools are the most needed for the protection of competition in Poland and most likely in other countries. First, as a case handler at New Technologies Unit, I strongly believe that each competition authority shall have a specific tool for automatic analysis of prices and their dynamics across most of the products sold online. Although many such initiatives have been taken already, the anti-competitive use of pricing, parallel, and signaling algorithms by multiple companies facilitates illegal arrangements, make collusion more efficient, and help such firms avoid price competition. Second, Polish Competition Authority is looking forward to work on developing more advanced tools for economic analysis. For example, such a tool shall help us more easily and involving less resources to indicate in a comprehensively manner the whole structure of a market. While conducting my PhD research on barriers to entry in digital market, I've learned how analysis of entries and exits might be essential to understand characteristics of a given market. Making this process automatic may be crucial for the efficiency of economic analysis in competition law cases and when identifying markets with the biggest structural competition problems. Last but not least, I'd like to point out that we also recognize a significant potential for the use of computational tools in analysis of evidence. For example, each down rates faces a key challenge, which is identification of relevant evidence and selection of most important examples. Although we already use advanced software for such purposes, we still perceive significant opportunities to make it quicker and engaging lower amount of staff involved. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and it was a pleasure to give this brief information to you.
Thank you very much, Mateusz, and thank you so much for having made yourself available on such short notice. So that concludes our agency carousel. Thank you all for having spoken and presented your short use case within the short time frame in this very quick carousel. Just to tell everyone, all the agencies that have spoken tonight or this morning, depending on where you are, have contributed to our second annual report. So if you want to read that, you can find a link in the chat or in the YouTube video that will be uploaded. And I think I can give it back to Thibaut.